Hi everybody, it's Dave Wells here and Tags. Welcome back. Here we are previewing the start of the 2022 season for the Bredlow Ridge. The purpose of providing this video to you is to provide an overview of the innovative player development program that we're going to be rolling out this season. It's a fantastic program coming together really nicely. The aim and the objectives are to build on the strengths of the club. You know, we've got an amazing culture as a club. We've got an excellent squad of players, amazing junior section. Both the first team and the second team have stepped up to a new higher division this coming season. And what we're trying to do is encourage every individual and the collective group to focus on their performance, set some progressive goals for themselves, and get a collective lift in overall performance. And of course, get the maximum enjoyment from our cricket. Simply stated, we're looking for some increase in availability from players. We want batsmen to score more runs, bowlers to take more wickets. We want to get some heroics in the field, take some amazing catches, etc. We also want to get a higher level of attendance at training so we can all work on our game. And then we want to celebrate success, 50s, 100s, fifers, free catches, etc. We've got an amazing junior section. We're bringing a number of juniors through into the senior squad this year. We want to make them part of that senior squad development, fast track them and their game through into those senior teams. We're also going to rebrand the Sunday fixture as a Senior Academy 11, so we can put a bit more of a sharp edge on that game, get a blend of active youth and experience working together to express themselves. We also want to attract and welcome new players to the club. Then we want every player to really focus and understand their role, support our new first, second and Sunday team captains, go into each game with a plan, get the most out of those games and hopefully drive success and tremendous enjoyment. How does this work? We're going to basically set up what we call pods. Those are small teams with a leader, what we call a Ridge Bear developer, a leader and mentor. And we'll have 10 of those with 5 or 6 players each. And we've recruited 10 of our most experienced players in the club who've agreed to step up and be Ridge Bear developers. We'd like to thank those guys for stepping up and volunteering their time and their experience. And we're going to have a lot of fun with this throughout the year. We've also got a fantastic support team. The program is going to be led by myself and Paul Cheshire. Tags and Gillet have agreed to provide status support, and that is amazing how much fantastic data we've already got available to support that goal setting. Ollie White is going to be the bridge between the juniors and the seniors as we create the senior academy. John Rolfe as playing committee lead, and then we'll have the 3 captains represented on our core team, Sam, Sean and Jovan. So I want to welcome them all into position. So what is the role of a Ridge Bear developer? Each of those developers will work with those 5 or 6 players, will lead and mentor those players, encourage them to set goals, get the most out of their cricket throughout the season. They'll help and welcome existing and new players to get the most out of their game. That goal setting process, tips, advice on how to maximize performance. For example, Steve Bird has already started to communicate with a set of players within his pod, focusing on batting technique in particular. It'll be a lot about communication, communicate, encourage, recognize performance, a lot of celebration for achievement. We really want to see people's names in lights as we get those results, get those 50s, 100s, etc. At the end of the day, we're trying to get as much fun, enjoyment and achievement out of the season. And then we want each of those developers to act as a role model for the club. As we go into the 2023 season, we'd like to expand the model and recruit additional Ridge developers to scale up the membership of the senior squad. We've already done a huge amount of work, thanks to Tags, Chesh and the core team, to select the pods. As you can see here, we've got about 53 players now identified and allocated, assigned to the pods, including a number of very promising juniors coming through into the senior squad. So I'm really delighted at this development. And over the next few weeks, we'll have the Ridge Bear developers communicate with the players and start to develop the program, the communication, and the goals. as we lead into the winter nets and then the regular nets and then the main season. Let me hand over to Tags now just to talk you through the goal setting process and give you an indication of how that goal setting process and the resulting performance can really lift the performance of the club. Tags, over to you.
Thanks, Dave. So we've got on this slide an example of the kind of figures that we're going to be working from and what we're looking to do with each player. So the first objective with every player is going to be to try and get them to play a few more games, all barring those stalwarts who've managed to get 18 out in a season previously, but there's not many of those, as we know. So we want to increase there, but then we want the pod developers to talk with the individual players about the goals that they're going to set. Now, you look at this slide and it's a nice simple one with number of runs, average, overs bowled, wickets taken, and so on. But the actual spreadsheet that we're using is collating 5 years of previous data and is just slightly smaller than Shropshire. We've got every piece of information that we need for the developer and the player to look at their performance over the years and get a target that is going to be something they're going to enjoy going for. Targets have got to be realistic, but they can be whatever you want them to be. So the way we've set the statistical data up, if your key target is catches or stumpings or runouts from the field, whatever it is, if you set the target, we can put it onto the sheet and we will monitor it. We'll then update that on a weekly basis, and the developers will look in at various times and come back and talk to you about how you feel your achievement against target is going. Simple targets like number of runs, number of games can produce what you see in the bottom left of this. It's a huge impact to the club. So in this particular example, where we've not set anything particularly outrageous, suddenly we've got average games going up from 13 to 13 from 9. We've got 440 plus runs out of 5 players. We've bowled some more overs and we've taken an extra 14 wickets. And that's out of 5 players. We extrapolate that across the whole of the 2 teams. Suddenly our season looks like a very different different performance. So there's plenty of flexibility in this. You'll be able to decide how you want to target. And then as we get into the season, you will talk with your pod developer about how you feel it's going, about what you want to achieve, and how you want to move forward. They might help you with technical bits, or it might just be a mindset thing. So we're looking here at how we're going to communicate with the pods. So this will be very much up to each of the individual developers. You'll probably have a WhatsApp group, you'll meet up at nets, you might go by email, you might dip into the spreadsheets. However they want to do it is entirely up to you and what works for you. We've got loads of opportunities this year with midweek matches, Sunday matches, net sessions and so on, where people can talk, share what's going on in their pod, compare notes, see who in the pod's doing the best, who's found something that works really well, and share that benefit of experience so that everybody's getting something from it. Talking of getting something from it, I'm going to hand it back to Dave now, who's going to tell us a little bit about how we're going to celebrate the season's achievements.
Great, thanks, Tags. And thank you for all the support on the stats and bringing that structure together, which is going to be fantastic. Just finally on the pods, that whole idea about developing pods comes from a number of first-class sports teams like the New Zealand All Blacks, who use a similar structure to break their squad down into units and get those units to work together and support each other. And it has a roll-up effect on the overall performance of the squad. So it's something that is being utilized by, senior first-class sports teams. And I think it's a real innovation that the Ridge is going to take this on and lead from the front in our level of sport with this particular initiative. Through the program, we're going to produce some great results. I'm very confident that there's some fantastic players in our squad, people who will actually raise their game this coming season, and we will be celebrating 50s, 100s, 5s, 3 catches, etc. So what we want to do is, one, we're going to create a lot of chatter of encouragement and support and recognition within the pods themselves. We're going to make sure we provide regular weekly updates on the website, through TeamSnap etc. on results and performance. We are going to set up a wall of fame in the clubhouse, so we can start to chalk up those great performances through the year, and you can see a progressive set of achievements by the squad. We're also going to sponsor redeemable vouchers. This is a monetary voucher that we'll provide to players who get a 50, 100, 5 or 7 for, etc. And they can redeem that at the club over the bar for whatever they want to purchase, to celebrate with their teammates. We'll also be rolling the achievements into an end of year review and awards ceremony. And one of the things we're looking forward to working on for the end of the year is creating a ongoing club honours board. So as people actually get into key roles and deliver key performances, we can capture that, into the future, so we can build some real tradition of performance year over year. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's great to start to celebrate together as we individually and collectively improve our game. The program timetable, it's going really well. This is the outline of the program. We're on track. We've now got the developers in place. We've confirmed the pods. We're about to put together the players' goals with the developers. This coming Friday, February 11th, we've got the Meet the Captains Night hosted by Sam Rolfe as first team captain, where we'll be previewing the program. And then we roll into pre-season nets. Looking forward to seeing as many as possible of you folks there. We'll be providing professional club kit towards the end of February, mid-March timeframe, in time for the outdoor training sessions. And then we roll into outdoor nets. Looking forward to a squad photo day, where we intend to get a squad photo in and around the Big Bear at the club, get individual player profiles so we can use those as we celebrate and talk about performance through the year. And then we'll roll into the warm-up games and then roll into the senior league season prepared. And I know the captains are already putting together their thoughts on how to make the most of match day, how to make the most of net sessions, etc. And then there'll be a lot of communication through the season as we all basically support each other and work and deliver on our performance. And as I said, we'll come back together at the end of the season. We can review how we've done against our goals, see what kind of lift or otherwise we've achieved, and then roll those achievements onto that honours board. And then we'll build a program for next year and build on this one so that the club gets stronger and stronger. So that's about it. It's a quick run through the program. The call to action for you as members of that squad is get involved in your pod, be active, be supportive to each other, and get the most out of your cricket. We'd love to have more availability. We want to see you guys really perform to your potential and have the confidence to develop your game. And we will back each other up and have a great season. So wishing all of the Ridge Bears a great season. Let's have a successful 2022. Thanks very much.